wonderful time of the year.
There'll be much mistletoe and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are
Here, it's the most wonderful time of the year. What's going on, guys? Coach Respect, the wise guy on Instagram, and Coach Respect on YouTube. I haven't been on live for a while, so I thought I'd jump on while I drive. So I got about 10 minutes here to hang out with you guys live. If you're on, awesome. If you're watching this later, awesome. Thank you for watching the videos. Almost at 1,000 subs, probably like 20 away. So that's a little milestone towards the big milestone of 20,000 subscribers. So if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button and ask any question you want about selling on Amazon. Ask any question you want about private label, about retail arbitrage, behind the scenes, Amazon Seller Central, anything you need to know. I'll do my best to answer those questions for you guys and help you win. What I wanted to talk about with everybody today, I think this would give you value because we're coming into Q1, and the most important thing you can do in Q1 is launch your private label products, because you're gonna go from a big adjustment of Q4 sales. If you're new in Q4 and you're happen to sell, be eligible to sell a few things in Q4, you're probably doing really good sales, okay? And if have been in an Amazon seller for the last 6 months or the year, and Q4 is the first Q4 you've been in, you probably had your most dynamic, largest numbers you've ever had, and you are super excited. Let's just put it that way. You're like, wow, this is amazing. I can't believe I'm making money while I sleep. When I wake up, I have hundreds and hundreds or thousands and thousands of dollars in sales, and I am making all this extra profit. It's amazing. And that's the nostalgia that Q4 brings to a lot of Amazon sellers. But when it transitions into Q1, the market completely changes into what is hot and what slows down in sales. Toys slow down drastically, gifts slow down, obviously, and the trends change. People save their money, the buying habits change to what people need versus what people want, okay? And private label products, and I encourage everybody to wrap their head around this, but private label products, you should be thinking about what people need versus what people want. The commodities that people need when you're trying to launch your very first private label product, or your 10th, should always be with the value behind it of what people need, okay? What do people need versus what do they just want to have? Obviously, I want everything for Christmas, but there are things I need come Q1 or January that I'm gonna buy. So, for example, I'll give you an example. It's not my favorite niche, but the gardening niche is in spring. So people are gonna need certain things, especially if their love is for gardening. They're gonna need gardening tools. They're gonna need gardening supplies, peat moss products. They're gonna need fertilizer. They're gonna need specialty, magical, fertilizer, whatever. You have to think about what people need at certain times of the year and look at products to launch based on what people need in their lives. Now, I don't necessarily like using the analogy of a seasonal product, but spring obviously just came to mind, and it's not it's a huge industry, definitely $1 billion industry. If you're thinking gardening, if you're thinking patio, if you're thinking lawn, all that type of stuff is coming up. And it's a huge industry to get into, but it is seasonal. People are not buying that in September. They're not buying it in necessarily in you know, June after gardening and flower season is over, right? So it's a small window, but it can be a very good window to launch in retail arbitrage as well, especially if you have a line on, you know, clearance and discounted products that obviously resell for a really good price on Amazon. It's a great time to bring products in for that. But just back to the private label, Q1 is the best time to launch a private label product. I just find there's a lot of products that come to fruition, that appear, that will show up in your research as good products to launch. You'll also have launched a ton of retail arbitrage products, and I know when I'm launching a ton of retail arbitrage products, one or two of them stand out, and a lot of times, especially if they're smaller scale products size-wise, I will look into those products on Alibaba just to see what I can bring them in for direct from China versus retail arbitrage. So product research in the next month or so, I'd highly encourage everybody who's interested in selling on Amazon to launch multiple private label products this January, this February. Start doing your private label research now. Start looking at the products that you sold over Christmas. Start spending a lot of time on Amazon now to see what people are wishing for, to see what people are buying, to see what's trending, and then start thinking about your private label products to launch in January. So when I launched in March, I only launched a single product, okay? And that single product carried me for 3 months before I launched my next single product. And my second single product was a complete and utter failure. And it wasn't until around November, is this still going? Yeah, it wasn't until around November. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So around September, to where I decided, you know, I'm gonna launch 2 or 3 at a time, and let's see if I can just scale down. Instead of launching and spending 500 units worth of equity, let me only spend 100 units of equity, but I'm gonna launch 3 different ones, because what I was noticing for me was that when I would launch a product, it would take upwards 50 plus units for me to get 50 to 100 units for me to get that product to stick. My second one I never got to stick. My first one stuck right away. It was a good launch. My second one wasn't a great launch. My third, fourth, and fifth, 2 were great launches. 1 was a terrible launch. Okay, so I understood, okay, if I launched 3 products, I had a 60% chance, if you look at my first 2, it was a 50% chance of 1 sticking. My thought process is, why wait 6 months to figure out that 1 is gonna fail when I can do that research and do the homework and start right away and know that within 3 months, or less than 3 months, to be honest, within a month or 3 months, if the product is going to stick, or if the product is going to fail, or if the product is going to take way too long to blossom, or if it's too competitive. So I switched my mindset from launching singular products to researching multiple products and launching a minimum of 3 products at a time, but at a lesser volume. That was one of my biggest switches, and that's a lot along the lines of hybrid arbitrage, which a lot of people know is kind of a fundamental approach to private label products for myself. So when I launched my first 5, I had 3 stick really well. After that, I launched 3 more, and then I launched 2 more. So I've launched 11 private label products. 5 are doing great. One of those 5 is doing extremely well, and a second one is basically coming up to a home run. But as long as you can get them to that level, that status of great, or good for some people is like 100 sales a month, they're extremely happy. Great for me is if it's doing 300 plus sales a month, it's great. A home run is if it's doing over 500 to 600 sales a month, units a month. That's excellent. That's a home run for me. So that's the kind of products I'm looking for. That's the approach I take. I launch a minimum of 2, 3 to a maximum of 4. 4 gets a little bit of hectic because you got obviously do a lot of work. It's not time consuming, but you just have to put a lot of time into building the listing and monitoring the listing, and so just times what you do originally for 1 times that by 4. So I just find that 3 is just fits my time schedule. If you're not busy, 4 might fit your time schedule, or more might fit your time schedule. It also 3 fits what I want to put out there capital wise, especially for some of the products that I'm trying to launch now. May cost me 25 bucks, but I might resell on Amazon for $75 to $100. Whereas if I were just launching $4 products from China, I may want to take that up or scale it up to like 5 launches at a time, at 100 units, and keep in mind when you're dealing with your manufacturers, you're not doing quantities that appeal to them. So you have to tell them that you're testing the industry, and if your tests work out, you're testing the market. If your tests work out, then your quantity is going to quadruple or quintuple or whatever the case may be. So you just have to be upfront with the manufacturers that you're testing. You want to sample 100. Don't expect a great price. Expect a decent price. But know that if those products stick, when you do decide to go back, approach it as if you're going to buy 500 or 1,000 units of inventory, because the products stick. Then you're doing however many sales you want to you're doing. Product research wise, like I said, start now. Get on Jungle Scout, get on Amazon, get on Alibaba, DHgate, and start looking at products that are trending, that are hot, that cost, have a certain selling point for you, that appeal to you, whether it be products that sell at the $25 price point or the $20 price point, 50, 100, whatever it is that you want to sell products for, and then start researching what you can get those products for. Look at products that have been selling extremely well. So look at the top 100s, ranked products, and start doing your homework. And look for products that you can basically buy. Like if it cost you $4 or $5 and you can buy 100, that's 500 bucks. If you have $2,000 in capital, go invest in 3 products and build listings for all 3 products and get those launched, and start doing the cheap marketing that I taught in a few videos earlier, and see which one of those products you can get to stick, that you can get reviews on, so that you can build your reviews for. If you can get to 5 reviews, then your advertising should start to snowball and start to balloon up, and ultimately that you can start to dominate that product and get that product to page 1. So page 1 is a key goal. Getting that product to generate reviews, quality reviews from customers, verified reviews, is a key goal. And building your listing is a key goal. Getting that product to stick. Once that all happens, advertising your product will help snowball that product's sales. And what you'll experience is you'll probably hit 2 of 3 that are going to do 100 sales a month for you minimum. And if they become great products, you're going to look at 300 units per month sales minimum. And if they become home runs, which may take a little bit of time, 6 months, let's just say, for it to generate or become a home run after your advertising and you start building listing, and you got 20, 30, 40, 50 reviews on your product, and they're all 4.5 star reviews or higher, that product is going to become a 500 quantity per month product at whatever profit you're selling for. Even if it's $10 profit, you're looking at $5,000 per unit on that first launch. You know, just use the capital that you make, use the profit that you make to roll it back into the products that are doing well. And just ask me, hey coach, when is a great time to dump a product? When do you think I should dump a product that isn't doing well? Hit me up in the comment section below. I'll answer that question or any other question you have, guys. Coach Respect, appreciate you tuning in. Enjoy. Peace.